Hey everybody, welcome to Mortgage Today for Tuesday, April 9th, 2024. And oh, what a day it was. UMBS opened up 12 basis points this morning. Nice to be in the green. Bonds climbed, clawing back part of Monday's slump in the build up to U.S. inflation figures that are crucial to the debate over whether Federal Reserve will start to cut interest rates. Treasury yields retraced some of the sharp gains that pushed rates on the 10-year note to the highest since November in the previous session. Government debt in the UK and Germany followed suit with yields falling across the curve. The Fed speak lately has been pretty hawkish, and the sentiment for rate cuts seems to be fading fast. One Fed official raised the possibility of rate hikes if inflation doesn't continue to work its way lower. The June Fed futures now see roughly a 50-50 chance of a cut, and the December futures now see two cuts this year as the most likely outcome. Fed Governor Michelle Bowman talked about the potential need to further hike rates. While it is not my baseline outlook, I continue to see the risk that at a future meeting we may need to increase the policy further should progress on inflation stall or even reverse. Reducing our policy rate too soon or too quickly could result in a rebound of inflation, requiring further future monetary rate increases to return inflation to the 2% over the longer run, further illustrating that they want 2% over the long run, not just, hey, 2% now raise them. Minneapolis Fed President Neil Kashkari raised possibility of no cuts at all this year. If we continue to see inflation move sideways, then that would make me question whether we need to do those rate cuts at all, he said in an interview. Small business optimism fell 0.8% to the lowest level since December of 2012. Sales expectations are weakening, and a tight labor market continues to be a problem. JP Morgan has an interesting take on inflation, that high rates are causing inflation because they raise costs for landlords, which must push up rents in order to cover higher costs. A lot of what's going on in inflation today can be linked very closely to the level of interest rates. Manley said if you slice and dice inflation, and whether you're looking at the headline number or whether you're looking at the core number, removing the goods equation, so much has to do with the rate environment. Tuesday turned out to be a great day for bonds, with MBS up nearly a quarter point for most of the day, and the 10-year yields ultimately dropping into the 4.35s by the final trading hour. As nice as it is to see the rally these days, it's best thought of as an isolated random victory without any bearing on the bigger picture. Granted, we may be seeing some evidence of value buying with yields near 4.5% on Monday, but Wednesday's CPI would still need to cooperate in order to confirm that hypothesis. To be clear, there is no way to know whether CPI will do that. It's just another coin flip in the game of it's just another coin flip in the game of hurting or helping rates, but on a much bigger scale than the average economic report. UMBS ended the day up 13 basis points at 100.58. So at 100.58, we need some more ground. Also, that 10-year yield ended up at 4.365, so we've broken through that 4.32 mark. That was a pretty tough ceiling. We also got news that the Biden administration announced a new student debt relief proposal yesterday that was potential to impact nearly 30 million borrowers. Over 43 million Americans owe a collective 1.6 trillion in student loans. The proposal, if approved, which they haven't been doing a very good job of, would cancel up to $20,000 in interest for roughly 25 million Americans who have exceeded the amount they initially owed. Single borrowers earning $120,000 or less, or married couples earning $240,000 or less, who are enrolled in an income-driven repayment plan could apply to have their accrued interest since entering the program forgiven. So it isn't actually forgiving the debt, it's forgiving the accrued interest. This announcement follows the Supreme Court's rejection of the administration's $400 billion attempt to cancel student loan debt last summer.